Hello everyone, welcome back to Gardening Mindfully. I'm Zenith and I hope you're having a truly amazing day. Well, spring has arrived in my Zone 8A garden, and one of the reasons I'm excited about spring is the arrival of hummingbirds. In this video, I will unbox a hummingbird feeder that I purchased from Amazon. But let's talk about these plants. Right here on this table in front of me are two of the plants that we can grow in our gardens that will attract hummingbirds. Now we know hummingbirds are beneficial to the garden, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But the reason for this video is to talk about not only the benefits of having hummingbirds in the garden, but also how can we go about attracting and maintaining hummingbirds, keep hummingbirds coming back to our gardens. And one of the ways we can do that is by adding plants to our garden that we know hummingbirds love. And another way to do that is to add a hummingbird feeder that is well maintained. So let's go ahead and unbox the hummingbird feeder that I purchased from Amazon. Okay, let's go ahead and start our unboxing. So this is exactly how it came to me from Amazon. So as you can see, this is a beautiful box. It is nice and sturdy, and I love the color. It is a creamy white with the green, and that's a picture of our hummingbird feeder. So it looks like it's a goddess shape. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description box below. And on the side, it talks about cleaning hummingbird feeders. So it tells us how to go ahead and make sure it's well maintained, because that's one of the reasons the hummingbird will come back. Hummingbirds will come back to our gardens, not only because we have the plants, they'll come back for the plants, they will come back to the feeder if it's well maintained. So it's very important to know how to go about cleaning and maintaining our hummingbird feeder. Let's go ahead and open it up. So directly on top, we have the instructions. And as I'm looking at this side here on the back, it tells us how to go about using it, and it also gives us a honey recipe, and it talks about regular maintenance. So this company is really serious about their product. So they want to make sure that not only are we using the feeder, but that we're using it properly in order to attract hummingbirds to our garden. Isn't that beautiful? So as you can guess, the color of the feeder is red. And I love the shape, just love that goddess shape. So again, you can see that it's well packaged. It's a little styrofoam on top. Okay, this is the base this is the base. And you can see this is a perch that's all the way around. So this circular rim here, this is the perch where the hummingbirds will land on this in between feeding. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 ports. So these are the ports where they will stick their beak in to feed on the nectar. So it's already beautiful. I love this already. Wow, isn't that amazing? And it's glass. seems strong and durable. So it has a handle. So the color here is the red goddess glass vase or feeder. And then we have a black handle. We have the sipping port. This is the tray where the nectar will be sitting in. So the hummingbird can stick their beak in here and the nectar will be in this reservoir here. So here's our hummingbird feeder. It is glass, it's a goddess shape, it's very durable. It's very easy to assemble, which means it will also be equally easy to disassemble. And in order to get the nectar in, we'll just screw this off, turn it upside down, pour our nectar inside, screw it back on, and this is ready for hanging. So again, here's our hummingbird feeder. We also have instructions that came in the box. On the inside, it shows you pictures of how to assemble the feeder. And on the back, it gives you care and maintenance instructions and also a recipe to make a honey nectar. This box is also very cute. I love the box. And again, on one side of the box, it tells us how to go about cleaning our hummingbird feeder. I am really excited, and I already have a shepherd's hook that I'll be hanging my feeder on. And I was going to make my nectar using 1 part of white sugar and 4 parts of hot water. However, I'm out of white sugar, so I'll be making my nectar a little bit later. So I think you can see my hummingbird feeder, which is on a shepherd's hook right here. And don't you just love that red? I love that vibrant red color. You know, over here at Gardening Mindfully, we love a pop of color. And I can see this from our greenhouse. We have an unheated greenhouse. I can see it from the greenhouse. I can also see it from my family room. And this is a well-traveled area, so I will see this hummingbird feeder every single day. And one of the things I'd like to mention is this is a full sun spot. So this area of our home is facing south. So we get full sun virtually all day. So this is also a great place to hang your hummingbird feeder where it can get full sun. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the benefits of having hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are very important. Actually, they are essential in our gardens. Hummingbirds are crucial to the pollination process. As they flutter from flower to flower to collect nectar, they are helping in the pollination process. Another benefit of having hummingbirds in our garden is that they help with insect control. Hummingbirds are insectivores, so having hummingbirds in our gardens can also help with pest control. Another benefit of having hummingbirds in our gardens is that they are visually appealing. Who does not love to see hummingbirds in the garden? As they move from plant to plant and flutter around, they are very entertaining, and that's one of the reasons I also love hummingbirds. I love them for the fact that they do help to pollinate, which is crucial to gardening. but I also enjoy watching them as they move from plant to plant to feed on nectar. There are several ways to attract and to keep hummingbirds coming back to our gardens. One of the main ways to do that is to have plants in our gardens which has flowers that are red, pink, or orange, and especially plants that have a tubular flower. So what we mean by a plant having tubular flowers is, for example, on the salvia, and these are wilting now because it's really hot out here, and the plant is root bound and they tend to dry out really fast, so it's very difficult for me to keep them looking perky. But a tubular flower is something like this, where it is, see how long this flower is? The hummingbird can very easily get their long beaks into this flower in order to access the nectar. So that's really important. It's also red. Hummingbirds are attracted to plants that has bright colors, red, orange, pink. So this salvia is red and it also has tubular flowers. This is a great plant for hummingbirds. Salvia is native to North America. Hummingbirds are attracted to the flowers due to the bright red color and tubular shape. Another plant, as I mentioned before, are butterfly bushes. So this butterfly bush it's a dwarf butterfly bush, and it should grow just 3 feet tall and wide. And this is a Pugster pinker. Pugster pinker, and it's a proven winner's plant. We have 3 here on this table. Pugster pinker butterfly bush is a compact shrub that is hardy in zones 5 to 9. It blooms non-stop from early summer to frost, showcasing large, vibrant pink flowers that are attractive to hummingbirds, butterflies, and bees. For us here in Georgia, in Zone 8A, we have a lot of deer. And so I tend to like to grow plants that are deer resistant, quote unquote. Butterfly bushes and salvia are 2 of those plants. So that's a double whammy for me. Both of these plants are deer resistant and they also attract hummingbirds. That's a win-win in my book. Another way to attract hummingbirds to your garden is to have native plants that have nectar. So any native plant that has nectar, native plant is a plant that is naturally grown in your area. It's not something that came from Japan or came from China or South Africa. It's a native plant. It is native to your area. Those will also attract hummingbirds. And of course, another way to attract hummingbirds to your garden is to have a hummingbird feeder. But most importantly is to make sure that your hummingbird feeder is well maintained. Here is a closer look at the hummingbird feeder. You will notice that it is made from glass. It appears to be very durable. The name of this design on the company's website is Graceful Goddess, and I really do believe that the name really captures the visual appearance of this hummingbird feeder. I'll also put a list in the description box below of plants that you can add to your garden that hummingbirds absolutely love. I'll also go ahead and put a link to this hummingbird feeder that I purchased from Amazon. Thank you so very much for watching and have an amazing day.